we're back.
We are back. It is Friday again. I'm excited.
It's Friday. I feel like Friday follows Friday with how fast these weeks go by.
And look who's popped in today to help us out.
Hello. Glad to be here.
And she even got the memo with wearing red.
Yes, that's exciting. So let's do a temperature check, not of you, but around you. What is your temperature, Zach? In your
it is currently 26 degrees, but this weekend it's supposed to be like 5 degrees. So pray for me.
I want to get the most accurate things. I'm gonna go check my weather app here.
I just want to check too, but I'm on Celsius. I don't do Fahrenheit. Even my app, even though I live here, it's on Celsius. So
what is it in Celsius?
27. It's warm. Miami never gets really cold, so it's good here.
All right. So I'm sure someone in the audience can help us out and do the conversion real quick from 27 degrees. I'm sure that's in the 80s. Yep. There we go. Thank you, Vitruvian Maniac. Right here it is 47 degrees right now.
Nik,
and it is actually about to start raining.
Nik, I think I told you last week that when you're coming to Michigan, I told you to bring the warmth. And looking at the extended forecast, it's going to be a smoldering 2 degrees Fahrenheit while you're here as a high.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No.
Yes, sir. So
that's freaking cold, man. I cannot handle the cold. I'll tell you what happens when I go in the cold. I get into a bad mood.
Awesome.
So
that would be fun.
Awesome. I'm super excited to meet you in person for the first time.
Good luck, Zach.
Yeah. Well, welcome everybody. It's great that everyone is sharing their temperatures. I love it. Looks like Dubai winds right now with 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow.
Thanks for doing
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hot. Great. Okay, well, we have a lot to talk about, as always, and I'm seeing a lot of artists in the audience today. I appreciate that very much because we have some excellent news for you guys also. So this is the exciting part for the downloads for me is now we are going to see both our community, which is the crypto investors, and also the artists. You know, it's going to be hybrid, and I hope each segment can learn from each other and grow with each other, and you know, in the long run, collaborate for the mutual success of our blockchain. All right, so I think we can kick things off here. So let's go. I'm ready. So I'm going to share my screen. Go. All right, everyone, welcome. It is yet another episode of Vitruvio Download. This is season 2. Episode 2, it is January the 12th, 2024. I'm Nik Kalyani, the founder and project lead, and I'm going to walk you through the developments of the prior week and then take all your questions. I guess when I say prior week, I should say the last few days, the 4 days. So, and then I'm going to take your questions. And Fur is going to be here today because we have a lot of artist-related content. And Zach is always here to help as our ecosystem lead. So thank you so much. And for those of you who don't know, Fur Kajiano, she's our Creator Council lead. So she's the point person for all things related to the creator community when it comes to us. All right, let's get started with looking at a timeline and what was set and what has been done. So let me move that. All right, here we go. So we had a timeline where we plan to launch a Swapper 2.0 the week of Jan 9th. Swapper 2.0's primary function was to continue to consolidate your wallets and the coins in there, but it was also to specify what the delineation would be between your VTRU and VTRU tokens. So this was an opportunity, or is still an opportunity because it's still going on, for all OG VTRU holders to make that determination. And the reason for that is we are trying to rebalance our cap table so that investors can find that the whole VTRU investment scenario is an attractive one. So a lot of folks have done that. They've been swapping, and I have some stats on that I'd love to share with you shortly. And every time someone does their commitment around their swap, there's a button there that says seal the deal. And when they seal it, they get airdropped VTRU tokens, and they get airdropped their vested VTRU, which at this point for almost everybody is 0.55%. That's 0.25% for the first month and 0.30% for the second month. And in another 12 days, there'll be another 0.30% vesting. All right. We are also putting the finishing touches on an app called VTRU Scope. So VTRU Scope is intended to be your go-to app for all things related to tokenomics on Vitruvio. So this is where you will be able to work with all your NFTs, see them, etc. And when I say NFTs, we are talking about what are called core NFTs, which I will go into in just a moment. But this is the app that we are currently finishing up development, and we will probably, I'm going to say tentatively, you'll see it Monday or Tuesday. So it's going to be by the 16th. So we're definitely working on that. Now, I just want to remind everyone that our deadline for the Swapper 2.0 decision making is 11:59 p.m. EST on Jan 16, 2024. So that's a few short days from now. So if you haven't yet logged in and made your decision, please do that. We are tentatively looking at a VTRU CEX listing the week of Jan 23rd. We are working on the exact date right now, but that's what's going to happen. Now, between Jan 16th and the end of the month, we are going to airdrop a large number of NFTs to various different stakeholders, and you're going to see that show up in your wallet. We are also through the course of this month onboarding all our Genesis artists, and that actually is going to go on into February also. We don't have an exact end date on that. We presume it'll be sometime through the mid to end of February. It really depends on the stability of the software and what the artist feedback is for us on the software. So we'll go get into that. But let's now talk about the core NFTs. So there are a large number of different core NFT types, and they correspond to a person's role in the ecosystem. So Nexus core NFTs are for the OG holders of VTRU tokens. Validators are self-explanatory. They are the node holders. Stewards are essentially people who have a council role, so council lead, a team lead, etc. Dreamer. Now this is the big one. So Dreamer is going to be all artists who have had previously a Nifty Dreams pass. So we're gonna drop those Dreamer NFT passes into your NFTs into your account. And they come with a small VTRU allocation also. Now, bear in mind that for any account, any wallet, you can have any of these, as many like types as you can, but you can only have one type. So this is important information, especially for you validators with lots of different nodes. One account, one core NFT. So you need to make sure that if you have a validator node, or if you have a Dreamer pass, that you have moved them to multiple wallets, because we do not support having multiple core NFT types of the same kind in one wallet. So it's up to you to move those. If you have multiple ones in the same wallet, it is not going to work ever. The contract is being designed to have only one core NFT type in a wallet. So what that means, you could have Nexus, you could have Validator, you could have Steward, but you cannot have Nexus, Validator, Validator. You cannot have that, all right? So this is especially true for people who have the Nifty Dreams Dreamer Pass. Be mindful that you are going to need to spread them out across multiple wallets if you intend to derive the benefits of those core NFTs, which include voting rights in the DAO. All right, continuing down on the lower row, we have Maxim. So Maxim is basically analogous to Nexus, except it exists if someone uses a booster on an account that has no core NFT. If you don't have a core NFT, we auto airdrop a maxim in there. A trooper is for team members, so folks who are providing services to the DAO on a regular basis. That would be trooper. So steward is more leadership kind of, and trooper is more people providing services. Benefactor is potentially anyone coming in who has been an investor previously with a larger amount through an acquisition, or who is now an investor who doesn't come in with a booster, who comes in through a SAFT agreement, a simple agreement for future tokens. And then early birds, we are going to have them have their own separate core NFT too. So all of these airdrops are happening all through January. They are just going to be staggered, and I can't give you specific dates on each one. But keep in mind, especially if you are working on multiple chains, you're not going to see these core NFTs in your wallet anywhere except on Vitruvio chain. So you need to connect your wallet and be sure you're looking at your account on Vitruvio chain. So we'll provide instructions on that, and in VTRU Scope, there'll be a button to easily add the network to your wallet. So if you haven't done that, that's what's coming up. So I will keep bringing this slide up because I know not many folks are used to the idea of having an NFT that unlocks and tracks your asset ownership. So here's why these NFTs are necessary. Your allocation, whatever it might be, is vested. Vesting means that your allocation is stored in a smart contract. It is not in your wallet. It is in your account, but it is in a smart contract. So the NFT is needed because it contains information about what is your vesting schedule, what are your perks amounts, what is your rev share amount, and all manner of those things. What are your voting credits, for example, in the DAO? So think of that core NFT as literally sort of a passport, if you will, for your coins and your governance and your perks and your revenue share and all of that. And you need that core NFT in order to be able to claim things. So the app, VTRU Scope app, is being designed to look in your wallet and see what core NFT types you have. And based on that, it will allow you to unlock functionality. So there are no deadlines. There are no timelines. You don't have to do anything by any date because it's all contract driven. You can come after a year and find the core NFT that's in your account and make a claim. And whatever you're eligible for at that point, you will be able to collect that. So absolutely no time pressure on you once we have launched VTRU Scope and have the core NFT in your account. Do things whenever you want. The contract will calculate and give you your assigned, released, free coins, drop them into your wallet, at which point they are free. You can do whatever you want with them. But until then, the core NFT is your passport. It lets you track what your status is within the ecosystem. So hopefully this explains core NFTs to you, especially the folks who are coming in, the artists who are going to have a Dreamer NFT. You will have, like I said, voting rights in the DAO. You will have a small amount of vested coins, and these NFTs will help you track it. So next week, when we have VTRU Scope up, we'll be able to see this in action. So it will go from a slide to actually being able to work it out. So I'm excited about that. All right, let's move on. The next thing I want to talk about is what's new. So these are the topics that are important for us to talk about. First of all, big milestone. We hit $1 million in booster sales. I'm going to cover that in more detail. We obviously launched Swapper 2, which is the news we were just talking about. We also confirmed the MEXC listing for VTRU. I know there are some questions about that. I will be addressing those. And finally, what we're going to talk about today is a grants program that we are launching for artists. So we are really, really excited about that because we feel that this grant program is going to be pivotal in differentiating how Vitruvio is creating a vertically integrated ecosystem for artists. And it's not just a blockchain, like just a blockchain. We've got a lot of those. We've got Ethereum, we've got Solana, we got Tezos. They're just blockchains. They don't do anything proactively for artists. And we are the blockchain for creators. So we are building a vertically integrated ecosystem. And so we are going to go well beyond the technology for artists. All right, let's get into swap analysis. So this is I just crunched these numbers earlier before coming on here. So these are fresh. So we are on track with our goal. So 1,900 wallets were sealed. That's approximately 10.8% of the 17,647 total investors that we have. 1.12 million VTRU swapped, and that resulted in 2.24 million VTRU being airdropped. So on average, the decision that was made by people who were sealing was to swap 27% of their holdings to VTRU. I think that's pretty smart. Intuitively, I had predicted that in my mind that it would be around 25%. So 27% is even better, and give or take a little bit. And the reason is because it's actually very simple. If you want to balance your risk, if you want to diversify, and you want to get that sort of lifetime recurring revenue, and you want to sort of bet on two things at once, this is a great way to do it. And actually, that number 27%, if you think about it, is kind of meaningful, because you're getting a 2-for-1 on VTRU, right? So with this, you essentially keep 3/4 of your VTRU, but you also get 50% additional in VTRU. So I think that's a really, really smart strategy. So congrats to all the folks who have already sealed. Brilliant decision. I fully support that decision. Let's look at now what exactly this conversion is about, if you haven't encountered it before or are coming in new. So we have two cryptocurrencies we are talking about. The one on the left is a coin. The one on the right is a token. Those new to cryptocurrency, a coin is the native cryptocurrency of a blockchain. So on Ethereum, we have ETH. On Solana, we have Sol. On Tezos, we have Tez. On Bitcoin, we have BTC, right? So VTRU is the native cryptocurrency. This is important because it's the primary utility coin for the blockchain. VTRU, on the other hand, is a token. A token exists by way of a smart contract. So anyone can create a smart contract and create a token compatible with the standard that we call ERC20 that exists on blockchains today. So VTRU is a token. It is the primary token for our blockchain DEX. All right. So how does a VTRU accrue value? Well, as more creators list and sell their artworks on Vitruvio and use it for all the transactions, VTRU is the primary currency there. So it is used again and again, and it is stored, it is transacted with, and it becomes the primary currency of the blockchain, not just for the creators, but also any other dApps that come onto the platform. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of them over time. Now, VTRU accrues value as more art institutions create custom tokens on our DEX for their communities. So the idea here is that we are building an application called VTRU Mint that allows art organizations, no matter how large or small they may be, galleries, museums, movie studios, music labels, all of them, they all have communities. They all have stakeholders. And for the first time ever, we are going to give the world a crystal clear, a very simple, easy, one-button click opportunity and ability to create a tokenized ecosystem and provide liquidity for that and create a token for that. So VTRU is going to be an instrumental part of that, because as the DEX grows, so does the value of VTRU. And speaking of DEX, I just want to take a pause in this comparison to let you know that we are on track to get our DEX active here in the next week. So that's big news. I have not talked about that before in the download, but we decided we want to really fast track the DEX, and we're going to start off with one pair, which is wrapped VTRU and VTRU. So that's going to be on the DEX, and of course, anyone can come and provide liquidity and create their own token pair. Honestly, to date, I have resisted the urge to create my own token. But this is it. I'm going to do it right here, and I'm going to create my own token. I'm going to probably end up airdropping it mostly to the artists whose artworks I have collected. I think that's a great way to establish a little bit of sense of community around it, and provide some liquidity. So everyone else is, other organizations we are already talking to will end up also creating their own token. So sorry for that little digression there. I wanted to let you know that the DEX is coming. All right. So what are some of the features of these coins and tokens? So VTRU rebases 5x. I put 4x there. I'm sorry, I should have put 5x over 5 to 7 years. VTRU is not a rebasing token. Now, you're going to earn perks pro rata based upon your Genesis allocation. Now, this is an important thing. I get this question all the time. If you swap your VTRU for VTRU, it does not impact your perks allocations. It does not impact any rev share that might be coming your way, because that is based upon your original Genesis allocation. That what you started off with in block 0 is what's used. So you can swap away without any consideration of that impacting your perks or anything like that. Now, VTRU is also going to have perks. What we're going to do is we're going to take about 10%, 10% of the amount that's swapped, and we're going to put that in there. I need to refresh my memory. I forgot the exact percentage. I should have made a note of that. But there is going to be a perks for the VTRU swappers also. But the most important and significant VTRU income is 0.05% of all the DEX fees. So that's pro rata going to go to VTRU stakers. So just because you hold VTRU doesn't mean you're going to get that. You need to have staked your VTRU in the smart contract that's going to come up for that purpose. All right. VTRU is vesting over 18 months for the OG holders. VTRU is fully unlocked. And in fact, for all the original VTRU purchasers who would otherwise be known as the UXI sacrificers, airdrop is done. You have received all your VTRU. It's in your wallets. And as of this morning, a large number of you have also gotten a small VTRU airdrop in order to be able to pay for gas to do things with those tokens. That airdrop is paused at the moment. It will resume shortly after the download is done. Now, one huge benefit for VTRU holders and more importantly stakers is that for every token minted on VTRU Mint, 0.50% is automatically airdropped and distributed pro rata to VTRU holders. To me, this is a golden benefit. This is the best possible scenario you can imagine, because just by keeping your VTRU tokens parked, staked, every time there's a new token on the DEX, and like I said, we expect a lot of art institutions, music studios, etc., to actually take advantage of this and start tokenizing their communities, right, and provide liquidity for that. You're going to get those tokens right away in your wallet. So in terms of diversification, I can't think of a better tool than this, where you just hold VTRU, stake it, forget about it, and just keep checking your wallet. And every time there's a new token on the DEX, you get a portion of that, which I think is a great benefit and a way to diversify. So today I'm very pleased to announce something that people have been asking for clarification. This will be exclusive for VTRU swappers. So that 0.50 of all VTRU Mint tokens airdropped will only be available for folks who stake their VTRU, but who have swapped in the current swap that's going on right now. So it won't be available to all arbitrary VTRU holders. It is an exclusive benefit just for the folks who are swapping right now. This is a big deal. This is, I don't know if you can visualize it, but having the ability to get all tokens, a portion of it that are dropped on this DEX is meaningful. People ask about this about me. I have committed publicly, and as soon as I have my allocation, I will do it. 50% of my stash is going into VTRU. Done, period. Because I just see the value of it, and I see, it makes a lot of sense to balance things out. So there we go. So that's that. All right, moving on. The next thing, let's talk about booster sales. Woohoo! On January 9th, we hit a big milestone. We hit $1 million in booster sales, which I think was amazing. I looked, and we have members of the community, of course, but we also have a lot of new community members who are buying boosters, and I think that's excellent. So as of right now, we have $1.11 million, $1.11 million raised, and it is up significantly from last week. 35%. 35% is big. Our booster count has also gone up 38%, from 5,187 last week to 7,175 this week. And our early birds have gone from 356 to 450. That's up 26%. Now, I want to talk about early birds, but before that, it is time for a sip of chai in my glorious Vitruvio mug. All right. So I see a bunch of comments about what's happening here with regard to the staking, etc. So we'll address those two at the end of the call. All right. So at the town hall, I basically took a comment literally and without thinking too much, on the spur of the moment, said we are gonna freeze early bird, the early bird count, which is supposed to be 1,000. I realized very quickly after looking at the Discord that a lot of people are very upset about that. And it's always been my position to be very fair and to not do anything that goes back on something we've committed to. So I have to basically come up with a strategy around that. And so what we're going to do is this, and this is what I already committed to, is we're going to give the early birds, the people who really stepped up and supported. And by the way, what's an early bird? It's someone who purchased 7 or more boosters in one transaction. All right. So that's $1,000 basically, which is a significant amount of money for someone to invest in our blockchain. And I'm truly grateful for that. So how do we remedy this problem? And so my remedy is simple. So we have a nice round figure of early birds today. It's 450. It was close to 400 at the time. So there's about 50 additional ones. I think we can go ahead and be kind and call it the 450 who are here right now. We're going to call them super early birds because they are the ones who have stepped up first. And what I'd like to do is for these super early birds, we're going to give them each 100 unlocked VTRU airdrop to each after the booster sales close. So this is VTRU that is going to rebase, etc., and going to be an essentially income for you. But more importantly, you look at it as one of your boosters was free because essentially it's $150 per booster, and so that's the benefit that we would like to provide. So that's for the 450 super early birds. So this does not change the early bird program at all. There's a 5% revenue share for all early birds that continues, but these 450 are going to get an additional 100 VTRU airdrop to them. And I appreciate that you stepped up early. Thank you so much. All right, now let's see. We're going to go on and get a financial update. So one of the things that I brought up last Friday is the fact that we were sort of going in austerity mode and we had built up significant backlog of liabilities. In fact, none of the team were paid through the holidays, which was unfortunate, but I had to do it because it was very important to manage cash flow. So since then, we've had 2 withdrawals from the multi-sig approved by the Senate. And unfortunately, I haven't had a lot of time because I've been working on the swapper, etc., to provide a lot of detail. But the breakdown is presented here. And at the end of this presentation is a link to this deck. You can go back and look at it in more detail. But this is the spending we have done so far. And this actually covers portions of November, and all of December. And the most important thing to remember is we are building a lot of apps at once. So we are building depths. We've got, the swapper. We've got the VTRU Studio in progress. We've got VTRU Scope. We've got VTRU Stream. We are spinning up a DEX. We are getting listed on an exchange. We are initiating marketing campaigns. So January, as I was always hinted, is a big month for us. We're going to do a lot, but it's also going to cost us a lot. So these expenses are in line with the results that we are expecting in January. All right. Now let's move on and bring Fur on here for the next portion. I'd like to give you an update on sneakers. So Fur, come on here and let's talk about sneakers. So what are we looking at here, Fur?
Hi. Well, this is the template that we got from Diverse, and that's what I sent to the two artists that are working on the models. So basically, it's a template that they have. It's kind of like a canvas for them to work on their art. So you have in one side, like the right side is a template of how the art would look on that model of sneaker, and on the left side is the template itself. So they got, of course, this is only one side of the sneaker, but there's like both sides and there's the back. So it's a little bit more elaborate than that, but this is the base of the template that they got.
All right. This looks great. So it looks to me like it's obvious. One thing is obvious. You can't just take an artwork and slap it on here. It wouldn't look very good. You have to custom create for it based on the template. All right. So I understand that you have a surprise for us and you have a sneaker one design. I'm excited to reveal that. This is the first time. Here we go. So we have two sneaker designs. So we're going to reveal one today. And here we go. Well, here we go. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Let's
For those
talk
who don't
about
know, yes, I mean, like, first of all, I'd like to talk about Teresa Melvin, because she is amazing. She has been with us on other projects, and she's one of the artists that we really, really like. She's young. She's only 14 years old, and she is killing it out there. She has like all these amazing projects. She created this Ava Ramon, which I think is a PFP project. She's a speaker at NFT NYC. She's was considered Creator of the Year by the Met Ems. So it's just simply amazing, and we're thrilled to have her. She's she put a lot of thought on this. She actually sent me a full presentation on why she designed it as she did, and I am really, really happy with the final result of her design. So to you, Nik.
Can you hit the highlights on that? Why did she design it the way she did?
I think, I would have to go into her full presentation, but she created a piece that, I think everyone here likes the concept of whale, first of all. So, it enhances that. But more than anything, I'd like to talk about the art aspect of it. It really involves the whole template in a perfect manner. Like you said, it was created for it. She didn't pick up another piece of art and just toss it in there. So she's a fine example of someone that puts the effort to make all the little details fit perfectly. So I really like how she elaborated that design.
I love this design, and I would love to wear this design. I think it's pretty cool. Just knowing that you're wearing sneakers that were custom art created just for this purpose, and it's going to have the Vitruvio logo there, etc. That's pretty darn cool. I'm excited for that. And we have another sneaker design in the works. We'll get that going also. So thanks so much for sharing that. All right, now let's go into the big announcement for artists. So artists, listen up. Go for it.
Okay, so as you mentioned before, I think it's super important for people to realize that we are a fully integrated ecosystem to support artists. And this is the very first grant that we're going to issue for artists. So in this case, we're having 15 grants divided by 5 grants of 1,000 USDC plus 1,000 VTRU, and 10 grants of 500 by plus 500 VTRU. So this is a starting point of supporting our artists, and let's talk about what they do. So if you want to move to the next slide.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. First of all, like applications open right now. We're going to share the link. So anyone that has a project, any artist out there that has a project that will fit the, the concept we're going to share with you, can go ahead and apply today. We're going to take applications until the end of the month. And we're going to do community voting because it's super important. We're a DAO after all. So that is, I can't wait to see what people actually will vote for. I think that's a very cool, interesting part of being part of community. So looking forward to seeing that. And then we'll award the funds and have the competition deadline by March 10th.
Wow, that's pretty fast track. And I think it's great. All right, let's go on.
Okay, so who can apply? Since we haven't fully onboarded people yet, we are taking people that are the booster artists, which are 21 artists. And we have the Genesis artists. So everyone that has been selected as a Genesis artist can apply. So, and since we mentioned that at our spaces the other day, I will extend the applications for Genesis. Like you have to be on the wait list. And if we can fit the extra people, we're going to put towards the end of onboarding. So apply on the wait list, and then you can definitely apply for the grant.
Great. And the wait list doesn't have any constraints, right? You just sign up. That's it, yeah. Right? Yeah. So basically, this is open for as many artists as possible. You just have to make sure you're on the wait list. That's great. All right. And let's see. What are the project categories then? Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, for those who don't know much about Nik and myself personally, you might have no idea that we both care very much about doing social good. Nik himself has like the VPN for Iranian artists, and I can't even begin to say how much he does for people and supporting the good actions in the world. And for those who don't know me, like I've done a lot of things in that sense as well, like including sponsoring a reforestation project in Brazil. Like I've done all sorts of projects. So this really speaks to us in how we want to make sure that we use art for social good. So this is, it's one of the categories. You have to be doing something in the matter of social good through art. And of course, we want artists to develop skills and be better at what they do. So one of the other categories is artist skills development. I think that's pretty straightforward. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with.
Yeah. And so I think it's important to note that what we are talking about here is grants, not for creating a piece of art. It's for creating a project that fulfills one of these, or matches rather, one of these two categories. So your project has to do things. Now, I've had grants before, and I've had artists who, for example, organized a drive to help kids with their, drawing skills in underprivileged neighborhoods and things like that. So that's the kind of social good we're talking about. Or it could be run a class to teach artists how to do AI or how to improve their Procreate skills or something like that. Yeah.
Yes. So I would say, like, get creative, guys. There's like so many ideas. I'm not going to give people ideas because I think you can come up with them yourself. But it's pretty.
Yeah, I was just shooting up two examples. It wasn't intended to. Yeah, it wasn't intended to say that this is what you should do.
Yes, it's but I would say that it's very broad, and you can think outside the box and make sure you fit one of those categories. So excited to see what people come up with.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note at this point here that if you think about grants that come from businesses in general, you have to create something that promotes that business's product or brand or something like that. We don't have any of those aspirations because we are a public blockchain. We are a decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO, and our focus, our value proposition is that when we elevate the entire Web3 art ecosystem, our cryptocurrency VTRU thrives. It grows in value. That's it. So we don't have to have you create a project that says, "Oh, here's Vitruvio, blah blah blah." You don't have to do any of that. It really just has to elevate art, and it would be great if it does Web3 art, but it doesn't have to be. It can be Web2. It can be anything, art related. So I think that's important for artists to know. All right. what's next here?
I love the title. Just have to mention, we love Da Vinci, so Da Vinci Grant fits perfect for Vitruvio.
All right, so this is the link that people go to. I think I'll go to that link here. What do we see here? All right, let's zoom in a bit. Let's go to, I can go even larger than that. All right, so this document has all the details, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty well put together. I'm very happy with the team putting this together, with you, elaborating this, and Alex finalizing. So really happy. It has all the information.
So, yeah. What we can also do, Farah, is probably commit to translating this and putting this out there here in the next couple days, so that it's available in a few different languages. All right. So the key thing is it has all the application process. And then there's a link, and that link takes you to an application form. All right, so this is, and you again have this information repeated here. It's a very basic form. Probably take you 5 minutes to fill, I think. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Myself to test. So the first page is your main information, and the second page basically are going to fill out like what is the grant for, the main concept of your project, and it's pretty straightforward, super simple to fill out.
All right, great. And then it's got the timeline here and a little FAQ. All right, so artists, if you are here live or if you are watching this later, this is the link you go to, vitru.xyz/dreamfundinfo, and you have everything you need. Let's see, the deadline for applying is it was right here. I missed it. There we go. Jan 31. So you've got the rest of the month. Now, I know from prior experience that on Feb 1, you and I will both get a bunch of DMs that say I was not well, I was traveling, all of that. I'm very sorry, but that is a firm close date. You have enough time between now and the end of the month to submit your application. If for whatever reason you miss, do not worry. There will be other funds, other grants available. So we plan on continuing to do this. In fact, I would venture to say that this is our test. We are doing a small test run to really see how things work and get going, and really, get the artists involved in this. So there are some really good benefits to you. If you've dreamt of this project and have never had the funding to do it, guess what? Now you not only have funding, and I just want to be very clear about this. This comes with resources. You get us to help you answer questions, tech questions, things like that. You get us to do marketing for you. We are going to promote your project like crazy, So this is a very, very meaningful opportunity. If you are an artist who wants to establish herself or himself in the world, this is it. This is your big opportunity. Do not sleep on this one. It is important. All right, let's go with continue with this then. Any closing words on Dream Fund, Fer?
Well, only that I'm super excited because I've applied for grants all my life. It's being in the art industry for over 20 years. It's a huge opportunity. We always have a project in the back of our heads, so I'm excited to see what our community applies with.
That's great. All right, so let's now talk a little bit more about artists, but in the context of our business model. So we are the blockchain of creators, right? And we have put a sort of a stake, if you will, in the ground about how we're going to approach it, what our business model is, right? So one of the things you want to do as a startup is you want to get to the point of product market fit. This was famously coined by Mark Andreessen as the ability for a startup to really understand its product and its customers and make sure that they fit well together, because that is a driver for success. So how do you do that? Well, one of the things you have to do is ask your customers, right? Ask them what their problem is and how you can solve it. So I did a couple of informal polls, right? So the first one I did was to artists about income model. So I asked a simple question: as an artist, which income model do you prefer? So choose based on a one-time versus a recurring income model. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Web3 art in general, you have to know that it consists of an artist working on an artwork, minting it rather on a marketplace, and then spending 80% of their time for like months afterward, just trying to sell that artwork and pick some money. All right, a one-time kind of deal. That's the model we have right now. Actually, we still have this notion of starving artists, and the third option there is one in jest a little bit. Anything is better than zero, because it is true that many artists here in this space, they create an artwork and don't make a sale for months, many months. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 months, for 6 months, 8 months, even a year, and the idea of a recurring income is the foundation of Vitruvio blockchain for creators, because everything we are doing is geared around aligning the incentives for crypto investors and artists. And in the process, if we can have artists make a sustainable income, we have solved one of the biggest problems in the world that has been around there forever. Since art was there, this is a problem, and we are on track to solve it. All right, so this was the first poll. There was about 520 votes, so I consider this a non-trivial number. It's a significant number and good feedback, and it's very clear. I put 70% there, by the way, for those of you who think I'm bad at math. It's not. I put 61 plus 9. I just divided that anything is better than 0 into 2, so I did 61 plus 9. So I consider myself moderately good at math. All right, not super proficient, but I wouldn't make a mistake like that. All right, now let's look at another poll. This poll had 493 votes, and in it I asked, what was your total income from art NFTs? Not PFPs, because we've got a lot of those projects, but pure art in 2023. All chains, all marketplaces, all anything, editions, etc. And look at this number. It's very telling. 65% made less than 1,000. And honestly, if Twitter or X allowed more granularity in the polls, it only allows 4 options. You would see that that number is actually less than 250. Most of them are less than $250. So you made a very small amount of money. Now, but you look elsewhere there, and you see that 22% made $5,000. Now, if someone is in the United States, or let's say the Western world, etc., that seems like a trivial amount of money, nothing. But you have to remember that a large part of the world, of the globe, that is huge amount of money. That is the amount of money that you could sustain a family for like a year, So let's keep that in mind, all right? It's really, really important. So, all right, so having those 2 polls as context, let's now look at what we are doing with our business model, right? Because it has to, we have to get a product market fit. Are we doing the right thing? Is the evidence there that we are doing the right thing? Well, let's look at it. So we have 4 license types. First of all, license types is a brand new thing. It doesn't exist on any other blockchain. This is it, the first time. So for many artists, they are going like, what the heck is this? Well, you're only used to NFTs. We are saying NFT is just another thing for us. What we are doing is introducing license types so you can make money just like the software industry. In the software industry, you create software once and you make money again and again and again and again in perpetuity. What we are saying is that you create an artwork once in your life, and for the rest of your life, you should be able to monetize it. So NFT is bread and butter, like the foundational thing, all right? We get it, right? So you license your artwork to a buyer and they buy it. But what we are introducing is 3 other types of licenses. Stream, which is to stream your artwork to this new emergent class of devices called display frames, and also to over-the-top devices like Apple TV, etc., where your artwork is licensed by subscribers in playlists, much like Spotify, and that's the stream. We also have print licenses, which allow not only individuals, but retail consumer product manufacturers to print your artwork at scale. And then, of course, a big one where we go up and compete against Getty and Shutterstock and iStock Photo. Don't let that scare you away. We are going to compete and we are going to win. where we take on those industries, those very large established industries, to compete on stock. So by focusing on these license types, the 3 license types I've highlighted there, we can focus on recurring income, because there an artist does not have to focus on that one sale that they get to change their life. Every artwork they create starts giving them more opportunities for recurring income. And if you get to a certain point, you have enough artworks in play where you start having a salary. That's kind of what we are trying to do. So we feel we can completely disrupt the current Web3 art sales model with this approach. So to kind of highlight this, the main difference with Vitruvio blockchain for artworks is you do not mint. An artist will never mint anything on Vitruvio blockchain, period. All right. So the way you work is you consign your artwork to an asset registry. We call it asset base. And then you create licenses, and you can create any licenses you want. So maybe you don't want your artwork to be NFT, don't create an NFT license. You don't want your artwork to be printed, don't create a print license. But there are 4 types of licenses we start off with right now. We're going to have many more later. But the NFT license is a one-time license. It's for art collectors. That's what we know. That's what is there right now. Nothing, no big deal there. We also know that art collectors are a small segment. They are not like, all of a sudden, you're not going to find 1 million people becoming art collectors. All right. If you think that, that's a pipe dream. It's never going to happen. It's a fantasy. Hasn't happened in 400 years. Will not happen now. This is why the recurring income is most important, where you have stream license, which goes to digital frames. You have print license, which goes to consumer goods. And you have stock license, which goes to design agencies who use your content for marketing campaigns, for promotions and things like that. Right. So I just wanted to dwell on this a little bit, the poll and this, and how it fits the license tokenization model, to help you understand that there is a method to our approach to this. It is very, very much based on feedback, very much understanding what the market is looking for, and then addressing that market need. So Vitruvio blockchain is our entire solution is very innovative and really disrupts everything that artists are doing right now on other chains. So the concept of you must go to a marketplace, you must mint, you must make an edition or a one of one, all of that out the window. We have a brand new model. All right, enough on that. Let's now move on to our software. So VTRU Studio is the software that we'll be using in order to onboard artists. That's how you actually register your artwork. Now, in the last download on Friday, I showed you some wireframes. Let's look at those again. So I showed you how an artist will consign their artwork. They will drop some asset media on here. It could be an image, it could be a video, and then they get to kind of add different variants of that artwork. Why? Because we are highly standards compliant. We want everything to be standards compliant. So the first image the artist uploads is their original artwork in whatever size they want. If they've decided to make it, some odd number by some odd number, great, no problem. We'll accept that. But then the other sizes are designed for our customers, the ones who will be streaming your artwork on displays, etc. We want it to look awesome. We want the whole screen to be filled up, just like the behind me. We don't want the artwork to be awkward, a portrait image on a landscape display, and so on and so forth. So, and we want it to be high res. So we want it to be 4K. So it looks great. So what you as an artist will do is upload artworks for different purposes. So one for display, one for exhibitions, because in exhibitions, you generally put a bar there with information about your artwork and a QR code and things like that. And we don't want to mess up those proportions. Then we also want you to give a cropped image for preview. So when your artwork shows up in galleries and search listings, in wallets, things like that, we want it to look good. And we don't want like an important part of the subject matter chopped off or something like that, So you have a preview. And then, of course, for print, we need extreme high resolution images for print. All right, so these are the wireframes that I presented last week. And today, I'm very pleased to show you the progress the team has made in implementing this. So let's go here. So here is VTRU Studio Alpha. And it is, let's try out the software. So I have a throwaway account I use, a Gmail account. So let's log in with that. And it's going to give me a code. So I need to go grab that code. I guess I need to go to this tab for that. Let's see here. Bam. Let's see. It's 373396. Let's do that. 373396. All right. We're going to log in. All right. Let's zoom in a little bit here. All right. So this is the experience that the Genesis artists are going to see. This is the first time we are showing it to anybody. I'm really excited about it. We've been looking at this screen for like a couple of weeks now, and we finally get to share it with other folks. So I appreciate the opportunity to do that. So all right, it says, welcome to VTRU Studio Alpha. Congrats on being selected as a Vitruvio Genesis artist. So Vitruvio is transforming Web3 art, and that means all new software like this alpha version. Alpha means the software is not fully ready, and you're helping us test it, all right? So there are two features in the software, and you can access them. So the first thing is My Profile. So every creator is going to create a profile. In the alpha, we are not requiring it, but in the final release, every creator will go through KYC. We have a partner provider called Synapse, through which the creators will go, and they can choose the level of KYC they do. So for example, you can just do your mobile number, but you can also do higher levels of KYC. If you do higher levels of KYC, what that means is on the blockchain, it'll be marked that you have cleared a higher level. And then maybe on marketplaces, a marketplace can choose what to do with that. They can say that, okay, because you have higher level KYC, you can list your artwork for higher prices, like $100,000 or something. Our goal is to get rid of scammers and fraudsters and all of that. And so this is about that. All right, let me go create my profile here. I'll just say Nik K. And you know what? I just realized I don't have MetaMask installed on this browser here, so I might not be able to finish my demo. Give me a second here. Oh, you know what? I can do Wallet Connect. Yes, I will do it with my mobile. So give me a second. Wallet Connect to the rescue. I was worried about this part, and I knew I was missing something. And let's see here. Give me a second.
To the artists, we need the wallet for Genesis, even though like in the future we're going to be more friendly to artists that are not Web3 onboarded yet. But for Genesis, we need your wallet because we are not ready to go through the whole process of custodian wallet for artists yet. So alpha version is required that you have a wallet.
Yeah. All right, great. That worked really well. I scanned with my mobile phone and connected the wallet. So that worked well. My one email address is already here. Now, in this profile, what you're seeing is, and very important, on VTRU Studio, as a creator, you have a unique username, but we don't care about your email or your wallets. You can have as many emails and as many wallets as you want. We believe that emails and wallets are transient things. They come and go, etc. So we don't want to lock you down to that. In fact, these wallets that you add here go into a smart contract and allow you to essentially have ownership assigned to whatever wallet you want for that particular artwork. So we'll get into all of that. But for right now, you create a profile and then you hit save. Okay, it's saved. And now we can get into consignment of artwork. So we go there and look, these are the screens that we had kind of mocked up. Let me zoom in some more on this one. Actually, yeah, that should be good. All right, so you go through a structured process of uploading artwork. This is not complete yet. I'm going to show you the screens that are complete, which is basically asset media. So you go in there, and now it's essentially time to add your artwork. So let's go in here and click a button, and I have some pics here. So let me choose this one here. All right, and so this is the screen I was showing you in my deck a moment ago, and now this is actual software. So it's been uploaded here. I can now upload one for display. So I'm going to do the same thing. And we have a great tool here that allows artists to crop and scale their artwork so it looks great at the resolution that someone will have for the display. The display is what I'm looking at right now. So I do this, and boom, it's cropped. Now I want to have an image for exhibition. So let's do the same image, but we will crop it differently. So maybe we want to make it where for an exhibition, you want to leave the subject matter available there mostly, but you can see it's a little smaller now. It's 3000 by 2000 pixels, right? So, but you can zoom and crop as you wish. And then the preview one, as I was saying, the one that is used in a lot of different scenarios in your wallet. Now, if you just let it crop by itself, you would see that it would be like this. I don't like this. I want it to look glorious. I want it to, be like this. So you can see the difference, the ability for the artist to choose, how they want their art to look is important. No other marketplace does this. They all basically auto crop things. And this is really, really, really important for artists. They care about how this. And then finally, print. Now this is optional, so I don't have to fill this in if I don't want to. So I'm going to hit back here, and it's going to ask me, do you want to save this information? And I say yes. And look, asset media has now been completed. So basically, this is a very simple workflow the artist is going to go through, and when they're done, they will finish and they can publish. I think this one is also done here. We have a creator agreement. You can see this creator agreement is with VTRU BVI Private Limited, and it's a legal agreement. Now, this is an agreement that many artists are really, really concerned about, because in a lot of situations, you just click agree, but you don't look at it. Now, this agreement we have created is very artist friendly. We are basically saying, all we want to do, all the permission we want from you is to use your artwork for marketing, but you own it completely otherwise. We make no claims to it at all. So this is an important thing, and we'll be going. Fur and I have started to do spaces where we talk about this in more detail. So basically, we are, so this is kind of important. We're just giving us permission for marketing. That's it, and you can revoke that permission anytime you want. So if you say that no, I don't want you to market my work anymore, you can come into the studio and just check a box, boom, and it's gone. So these are all important things. And when you are done, you can accept the contract, and your contract is accepted, and so on and so forth. So that is what we can show you today with VTRU Studio. There's a couple of screens left. The most important one being metadata and license. Actually, the license one is done, but I'm not quite happy with the design yet.
Yeah, it's not fully done. It's
not fully done right now. There's a lot more to do with it. So we'll get back to that one. Mm-hmm. But we are still on track to. Oops, I should have said no to that. We are still on track. By the way, see how it changed to in progress? So it's very clear in giving you an idea. You can come back. You can go away, log out, come back in a week, and it'll be like this. So you don't have to upload and get your artwork all set up in one setting. You can take your time around it. So this is VTRU Studio Alpha. We are committed to creating high quality, very user-friendly, artist-friendly software. And we are going to go through the Genesis onboarding process and get your feedback and improve it even more. So this is we don't believe in having like lots of different screens and lots of options and things like that. Also, it's not done yet, but I'm very pleased to report that this software is going to be available in 4 languages when we launch next week. It's going to be available in English, in Spanish, in Portuguese, and in Persian, Farsi. So those are the 4 languages that we will support. We want to make it where artists around the world can easily use this software and not be English-centric, because too much of the world right now is very English-centric, but it's a global economy, and Web3 is supposed to bring equality to the world, right? It shouldn't be that, because English is your first language, you are ahead of the line. No, there are great artists all over the world, and we want to make an equal opportunity for them. So this is good. I wish I could auto translate this stream. I'm sure it's possible, but I don't know how to do that quite yet. So, but anyway, that is VTRU Studio. I'm genuinely really, really, really excited to bring this software, because for the first time, we are going to have software that addresses the needs of artists and not of a business. So I'm very grateful to Fer and the crew in Brazil, who's been working tirelessly. They even worked, they even came in on their holiday break, and because I was pushing them really, really, really hard, doing that. So someone asked, will there be a Chinese language? Really, we want to localize this. It's the infrastructure is there to localize it. So we'll look for the community to translate a language file for us, and boom, it'll be localized then. So excited about that. All right, now let's get back to our deck here. Let's see we have a few more things to cover. I think we are going to the part now where we'll talk about questions. So Fer, you can stick around. There's going to be artists here who have questions. But Zach, why don't you come on and we can start tackling some of these questions and get into those. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining our stream here. And we'd love to hear your questions, both artists and investors alike. This is the point where it's free for all, open, and we'll try and take the questions that are most general, because that benefits everybody.
Awesome.
All right.
Let's get into it.
So where should we start, Zach?
I'm just going to go over this slide real quick, and then we got plenty of time for people. So if you have any specialized questions, throw them in there. I've started a few, and we'll get into them. So the community team is, I know there's been a lot of log jam in the ticket. We're getting about 50 to 75 new ones a day. Since this calendar year started, we've had almost 500 tickets. So we're getting to you as we can, but I tried to isolate the core ones that we keep seeing over and over and over again and answer them all here. So SO, if you're here, clip this and put it in the Discord. Trust Wallet. So Trust Wallet users, we know this. You cannot import our Vitruvio network quite yet. We haven't reached out to them yet either, but we can in the future have them support us. So for Trust Wallet users, what you need to do is you need to export your private keys into MetaMask, and then you should be able to do whatever you need to do within our ecosystem. And when you're all said and done, you can delete the connection in MetaMask, and you're all done. So that's the first one. So Trust Wallet people, that is your solve. Nik already covered the second one, which is for the UXI sacrificers. A lot of people are opening tickets asking for gas so they could transact in the future. As Nik pointed out earlier, that is ongoing. It's currently, so a lot of you probably already have seen 0.25, and that'll be plenty of gas to do whatever you need for the future. I can't see my VTRU. That's because your VTRU is vested. Correct, Nik?
That's correct. Before we go on of the previous one, Zach, just want people to know that don't panic if you don't see that 0.25 VTRU yet. Like Zach was saying, it's a long-running process. It's going to go and go and go, and it's probably going to take a few more hours before it's fully deployed to everybody. So by the end of the day, you should see 0.25 VTRU in your wallet, along with your VTRU. That, by the way, is scaled. Was scaled because of the recapitalization. So it's great. But yeah, if you can't see your VTRU, it's because only 0.55% of it has vested, and that's what you're going to see in your wallet right now. You have to understand. This is why I took a lot of time to explain sort of the NFT aspect of it. Your VTRU is associated with your account and stored in a smart contract. When it vests, it goes into a state where it is claimable. You claim it, and it's available in your wallet, your MetaMask, your Trust, whatever your wallet is. It is then free and open. So that's basically the deal there.
And Kelly, always with the clutch comments. gives us some insight. He's having no issues with Android devices. It's only the iOS folk that are having Trust Wallet issues. So that's good to know.
It's not configurable. You cannot configure custom networks on Trust Wallet on iOS. That's the issue. It's not specific to us even. Any network has that same issue.
Right. We would have to reach out and have them do it.
Yeah.
And then I sealed the wrong deal. So we are gathering all the wallet addresses if people are doing that. I don't think we've made a determination of what we could do about it quite yet, other than the fact that you could swap it back to wrap VTRU with DEX.
Oh, you're for folks who made the wrong choice. Yeah. So you can go back and swap it. Yeah, for sure, you could do that.
And we have a couple of validator asked questions. Can I move my coins to another wallet where I previously stored VTRU?
Yeah, I mean, VTRU is a cryptocurrency that when it's fully vested and in your wallet is like any other cryptocurrency. You can do anything you would in terms of features supported by a wallet. So yeah, you can certainly do that.
And then we've had this one numerous times. Why can't I transfer all of my VTRU from 2 validator wallets into 1? They're having issues.
You can do it, but you need to do it in a roundabout way because the smart contract is designed not to mess up any validator status. So if it detects that the target is sort of a validator, it basically says no can do, So there are some workarounds, and I have been talking to some validators who expressed this. So let me commit to this. I will look at this issue and probably have a new release of Swapper, like Swapper 2.01 or something like that, available tomorrow. That might, I cannot claim 100% can do it because I don't want to redeploy the smart contract. It's done. But if it's a feature that we can implement through a client-side software where it does the bridging for you. I mean, I don't want to use the term bridge because people would say, oh, there's a bridge. It basically does a swap for you in a roundabout way to achieve the desired goal. I'll make that happen. So I'll post a minor update when the release is done so people can look at that.
Cool. And then like those are the most frequent questions that we're getting. And I have some more coming in the stream right now.
Let's take those.
Let's see. We got.
If there are any artist questions, let's answer those also first. So Fur is here. Okay.
Let me. Hey, Daniel's looking at the old calculator with the changes made. Are those numbers lower, higher, or about the same? I know we're committed to putting out a new calculator.
So there is, I am working on, I'll start off with a new spreadsheet and then deploy a new calculator. There's a ton of changes. So a lot of the stuff that's out there right now is obsolete, but luckily I think we use short links for a lot of those. So we'll just update the short link. So it'll go to the most current calculator. So Daniel, just give the weekend and we'll have a calculator up, or even not the whole weekend, maybe just end of Saturday or something. We'll get that done and have that info for you.
Are we on track to reduce the OG allocation to a reasonable amount just to ease the VC mines that that was the goal?
Yeah, I mean, based on the stats I shared earlier, right? We are looking at, let me go back to that slide. Where is it? There we go. I mean, if you extrapolate that data a little bit, I think we'll be on track. I'm not sure how many wallets will actually totally get sealed by the end of the day on the 16th, but the remaining, I mean, if you look at the community size and you base it upon that, the community in Discord is around around 8,000, Zach?
Correct. We're like,
yeah, right. And so then there's 17,647 wallets. So you do the math. There's going to be 9,000 wallets that will be at 50%. After Jan 16th. So it depends on the distribution of what those wallets hold, right? So I did do an analysis of that, and some of these things, as I do the analysis, I'll push it out through updates in the Discord so you can see. But to me right now, this looks like we are on track. I obviously the final numbers won't be known until Jan 17th, but to me right now, this looks like we are on track.
Cool. A couple questions artist-wise. Are we going to add a bulk upload option?
That is something we intend to do. It's not ready at the first release. So you have to remember, like Nik said, that we have the alpha version right now, which is prior to everything else. So right now we're going to have, the one artwork for Genesis. We're going to go through the process. And then we have a lot of features that we want to implement. So bulk is one, because we know we have a lot of photographer friends that release collections that are large. So we want to offer those options in the future.
Cool. Absolutely. I think batch upload is super important, because I'll tell you what, it's top of my list, because I get annoyed anytime a service or something doesn't have the ability to do batch things. So what you're going to end up seeing is a workflow where you upload and then you go away, because it's going to take some time to process all those images, extract metadata from it, and do all kinds of. We are going to do a little bit of AI processing to figure out the content of the image, to pre-populate the metadata for keywords and things like that, right? So you upload in batch and you come back, and then it's going to tell you which ones failed, like they got rejected because they were too small or too big or whatever. And then for the remaining ones, what we'll let you do is select files in clusters and say, okay, for this cluster, the metadata field location should be X, and so on. So do it smartly. We want the metadata to be complete and comprehensive, and we're not going to make you click each one and enter the metadata for it again and again and again. That would be insane. So just assume that whatever is a rational thing you would expect in the software, we are going to build, because I have complete reason to believe that I'm a rational person, and Fur is too. So, and we are designing the software. So two rational people are going to design the software. So expect it to cater to the needs of artists.
And that was kind of his follow-up, is an import for metadata for keywording for stock images. It would take me months to upload collections individually. So
no. We want to make it a look, it depends on the size, but if you got like 25,000 images, I'm sorry, it's going to take you a couple days, or more, to get through those. But yeah, our goal is to have you do as little work as required, because after all, we are dealing with computers here. We can automate things as much as possible.
Yes.
Cool. All right. I'm seeing quite a few people talking about their Bitcoin sacrifice. If you did not verify your transaction, you're not on the list. We do have another few that got put in there, and Nik and I will review them sometime soon, and we'll get those allocations out. Let's see. We got
Wait. John has a follow-up that says that's lots of fees. I have no idea what he means by that. I think he might be thinking that this is Ethereum.
Yeah, there's no fees.
This is Vitruvio. Your artists will generally pay nothing. And even if they do pay for certain transactions, you will rarely pay anything more than a quarter of 1 penny. So, like, let's say you got 100,000 images. I imagine you would pay $1 or something like that. So no fees.
We got congrats on the 1.17 million. When can we use the boosters, and two, when some sort of listing for the dApps for Vitruvio plan?
Yep. So the boosters is a feature within VTRU Scope. So as the week progresses, as the coming week progresses, you will see VTRU Scope, and I think we will probably have a cadence of updates every 2 days. So you will see a new release every 2 days on that update. It'll support a new NFT and a new feature on VTRU Scope. And by the end of the month, it'll be fully done, and all the NFT types will be supported, and all the claims will be supported. But the boosters will be supported in there also. Now, while we will allow you to look at your boosters right now, it is entirely possible that we might not allow you to use them until the booster sale is done, because of the math involved. We just want to make sure that we don't screw anything up, because we want it to be accurate and good. So I will leave it to the developers to tell me if it's a good idea to enable the boosters before they're closed or to wait until they are closed.
And then your good friend Gus, since we're talking about Scope, asked about we're going to be able to see the total amount vested in Scope.
Mm-hmm.
So for the people who are talking, yeah, go ahead.
We named it Scope because it's intended to be a scope. A scope is something you look at something with, like very carefully, like a microscope or telescope or something like that. So this is your VTRU Scope. It is your basic dashboard, if you will, for all things. You will be able to see in your account how much you originally had, how much is vested, how much will vest next month, and by each month, etc., and how much you've claimed, how much is locked, how much is unlocked. Pick all of those things. You will see a dashboard with all of those numbers.
Yeah, which for the people who are in MetaMask and only seeing 0.05% or 0.55% of their total vested, that when we get Scope, you'll be able to see the total amount that you ended up swapping.
Yep. So at that point, it'll become very clear about, when people asking, why is it not in my wallet? Well, it's because it's still vesting, so you can see what will be in your wallet and what won't.
As we buy VTRU from Mexi, is it possible that we could buy VTRU and swap it to VTRU and before it gets listed on a exchange, which we did talk about? It was the wrapped Vitruvio you would be able to buy
next week. Optimistically, developers give a date. I relay to you, and then developers tell me, oh wait, we need 2 more days, and then I have to come and relay that to you. Optimistically, right now, we are planning on launching the DEX next week with a pair of wrapped VTRU and VTRU. For those of you who are not aware, we will never have VTRU in a centralized exchange because the exchange doesn't know how to handle a rebase coin. So we will have a feature available to you within VTRU Scope where you can go and say, okay, wrap my VTRU. Boom. You now have a token, wrap VTRU in your wallet. That's fine on the exchange. So when we list on an exchange, it will be wrapped VTRU and you can use it. By the way, on Mexi, the pair we are going to have is VTRU and USDT stablecoin. That's what we're going to start off with. Our goal is ultimately to have more exchanges, but that's what we're starting off with.
Cool. And then
okay, let's address this question that Robert Wood just posted, please. I think it's an important one.
Sure.
So I had a long conversation just yesterday with the Mexi representative. Here's the deal. Almost every exchange out there is starting to basically crack down and not allow US residents there. Now, US-based exchanges like Coinbase, Gemini, a few others are fine with that. So here's what the Mexi rep told me. He says, if you're a US citizen and you don't do KYC, there is no problem. You can continue to use it. You don't need a VPN or anything like that. And just use Mexi for the purpose of trading, your wrap VTRU to USDT. And once you have USDT, you can move it anywhere you want. So you only need to do KYC if you intend to essentially off-ramp to fiat. Just don't do it at Mexi. I'm sure everyone here who is a crypto investor already has their favorite exchange that they work with. So use your USDT, transfer it to that exchange, and you're good to go. So basically what I'm saying is the Mexi folks said, as long as you don't use KYC, you're fine. We understand this issue, and we will look at other exchanges, but I'm telling you, it's going to be really, really hard to find exchanges that don't, don't restrict US. It is an issue. And Robert says it sees your IP address and won't let you in. All right. I'll check on that again with the Mexi rep, but he seems pretty confident that it's not an issue. So what we'll do is we'll put together an FAQ about this. But that's the exchange we are going with, folks, initially. And I realize that it might be a problem for a few folks, but it is not going to be the only exchange. We will support more. And some people might have to use workarounds, and I apologize for that. But we are trying to move this as fast as possible because that's what the community wants. And this is what we have.
Will the wrap Vitruvio release go before VTRU goes to the centralized exchange, so I can swap VTRU for VTRU before it starts trading? That is what we just covered. And I saw another one, which I meant to click on, which is around about the same. About can we swap it wrapped VTRU back to VTRU?
Yeah, it's a DEX, right? You can go back and forth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. One of the things I can commit to is, Zach and I and others also, but primarily Zach and I started to do this Discord town hall, right, in the middle of the week or whatever. So, I think I'm going to collect all these questions now around exchange, etc. And as we get closer to the exchange listing, etc., just do a town hall where we just answer all these questions and also have an FAQ available for that. So all these questions I answered.
Cool. Let's see. We got someone asked if you could go into a little bit more on what the one-time expense was for that 70K.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we are talking about exchange fees. We are talking about DEX, right? The DEX has to be implemented. We have fast-tracked it now. So that's a one-time expense of paying the team to implement the DEX. We also, I'm blanking out. Oh, we are doing a marketing campaign. So you're going to see a marketing blast come up here shortly. So that's also a one-time expense.
Someone was asking if you get 100 VTRU per super early bird, and no, it's or per booster. It's 100 VTRU per early bird.
Per early bird wallet, yeah.
Yeah, wallet, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have an estimate on the wrapped Vitruvio price for the DEX?
I knew this question would come up, and I'm sorry, I'm going to come up blank on that right now. I just need to talk to a few people about that. A few days before we launch on the DEX, that will be sometime middle of next week. I'll have an answer. Sorry, Cappy. We'll come back with that.
Yep. Same with some people are asking what kind of liquidity we'll have out the gate, and we can't.
We are in talks with the investors right now on that, and we'll get those answers. I promise you. It's just closer to that because everything is so fluid right now. I don't want to make a public commitment and then have to backtrack. That's the worst thing possible for me to do. So I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that when I give you information that it's solid.
Right. Omni-Man, yes, you'll get 300 Vitruvio because you did.
Can you post the question up there?
Yeah. Sorry. I bought 7 boosters on 3 occasions using the same wallet. Do I get 300 Vitruvio for super early birds or 100? Yeah. Oh, you get one. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
So cool. And then I think we kind of got them all.
Funk Master's got a great sort of gaming strategy here. So he's saying with the DEX, can you swap VTRU for well, it's the other way around. I think it's VTRU for wrap VTRU, etc. And I think the idea is to take VTRU and swap it back to unvested VTRU at that point. Yeah. So the calculation on that will depend on the price. So I don't know that yet.
So, and then a lot of people asking about their support tickets and if they've been seen. We're getting to them as soon as we can. Bender's working on them as we speak. So, but yeah, I think that's all for. Oh, we got one more that come in. Is there any other pairs that we're looking to grab?
Yeah. So on the DEX, we're just going to have tokens, right? The token pairs. So it's our tokens and then other project tokens. And I said, I want to create my own token. Fer will probably create her own token. Zach, you might create your own token, etc. So there's going to be businesses that will start lining up, to list their tokens on. It's a great way to make an entry into a new blockchain is to list your token on the DEX. So yeah. Actually, Rich had asked a question earlier. I don't know about whether the 0.50 staking applies to OG UXI sacrificers also, or is it just to swappers? I think that's a good question, and I think it's fair because they did make a sacrifice early. I mean, that's what we are talking about, right? People who contribute and sacrifice for the success of this chain. So I am inclined to say yes. So I will modify the statement to include the UXI sacrificers also. So I think that's reasonable, and I'm not making this claim in haste. I've been thinking about it since he posted that question throughout the call here. I've been thinking about it, and I think it makes sense. So just to clarify, if you stake your VTRU and you have participated in the swap right now, or you are an original UXI sacrificer, you are eligible for the 0.50% airdrop from any token that is minted through VTRU Mint.
This is a good question. Can the 100 unlock VTRU for super early birds be sold right away?
I'd rather you hold it, but yes.
Cool. All right. I think that does it for us for today.
Okay, good. I didn't see too many artist questions. So, or did we scroll by any?
I didn't see too many, other than I think his name was John Watson, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, those were some good questions, and I'm sure we'll have more questions come up in spaces and things like that. But this is great. So fun times ahead, folks. I'd always said that January is going to be a month of intense action, and you're seeing that now. We are. This is getting all too real, all too fast, and I am excited about it. Everything that has been sort of on slide decks and all that now is becoming real, and it's such an exciting time to be part of this community. And I thank you for continuing to support us and be part of this. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Discord and on another town hall or another Twitter space. I encourage our community members who are sort of more on the crypto side of things to attend some of the spaces that Fer and I do on Twitter. It's great to hear the artists' reactions, their questions, and things like that. Because if you think about it like a business person, right? Our business is creators and the things they do. That's how we are going to essentially have a successful blockchain. So if you can attend those, it's great. It shows support, and it also helps you understand better what we are doing in the ecosystem. So thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Zach.
No problem, Nick. See you next week.
Thank
Bye.
you.